and my salutation to all of you. And that is, in my faith, we say namaste. And that simply means divinity in me bows to the divinity in you. And Pandit Sharma ji eloquently talked about what Hindu thought is about freedom of religion. So I think I would simply start talking about the freedom of religion in the international arena. And I want to begin with the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. As you probably recall, that after the death and destruction of Second World War and all that hatred, then the effort was in order to create a setting in which international peace and security, they are tied to human rights. And one of those human rights, that's an important one, is the one about freedom of religion. So Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it simply says that each person has got the right to profess its own faith, and along with all that, freedom to have or not to have a religion and adopt a religion, belief of his own choice. And then there are treaties, because this was simply a declaration. Today, there are plenty of treaties. I won't go through them, but those international treaties oblige countries that are members to it. And many of those treaties, especially the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, that has the same kind of idea that everyone has got a freedom of religion. And then that treaty today is mandatory for all countries to follow. Very briefly to mention to you, what does it mean to have that freedom of religion? Because the Declaration on Freedom of Religion, there are plenty of issues. I think given the time, maybe I shouldn't go into all that, but bring you to our own country. And here you have Amendment 1, First Amendment, that we know about it. But as you look at that First Amendment, it has got two complementary protections. One is the right to religious belief, expression, and guarantee. And that is, government neither prefers religion over non-religion, nor favors particular religion over others. And this dual protection, these protections work hand in hand, and allowing religious liberty to thrive and safeguarding both religion and government from the undue influence of the other. What has really happened is that despite that um, First Amendment, you probably remember that in 1925, there was this case, and it's called Scope's monkey trial. And it was that teacher who was teaching evolution. He was considered to have violating religion. It was inconsistent with religion. And he was obviously found kind of guilty at that time. Today, we do find that in this country, while we profess religious freedom, but there is kind of phobia. And it's Jews feel that way, Muslims feel that way. And I think even Hindus and Sikhs, their gurdwaras, their temples, they have at times been threatened. People have been assaulted. In my place in Denver, just a few months ago, a Sikh gentleman who had his own shop, and he was um, assaulted by a person who just simply came in and said, "Go back to your country. This country is only for the whites." And that kind of setting, even today, hate crimes, they are prevalent. How do we respond to all that? I think Sharmaji has very appropriately said dialogue. There are, at the present time, I see 3 of us who are teaching out of these 5, 6 people who are here. So all of us talk about education from the very beginning, kindergarten on, to say that people who look different, people who have got different religions, that no discrimination against them, that they are to work together. Sharmaji talked about dialogue. I am the vice president of Interfaith Alliance of Colorado. And that Interfaith Alliance is the one that has been very active in trying to bring all the communities together and to make sure that religious freedom is the one that blossoms and prospers. These are hate crimes today. I was looking at them in the last few years, what has happened. And there are plenty of those because religious freedom issue also has been kind of politicized. And the challenges, there are plenty of challenges. Active state repression and impunity, that is in other countries. Thank God we don't have it in this country in that. But violent extremist attacks have occurred. In many countries, apostasy, blasphemy laws are there. Repression of religious minorities is there. Anti-Semitism, restrictions on Muslim attire and expression, restrictions that are derived from security and related concerns, and many other problems and challenges. Talking about there are opportunities. And I think we are at the present time at a stage where dialogue, education, creating awareness, treating people the same on our part, others, that at the present time is required. So thank you very much.